Have you ever noticed how the people who carry the most influence aren't the loudest in the room? They don't shout to be heard. They don't argue to prove a point. They don't chase love, nor do they beg for validation. They simply pause, and in that pause, the entire room shifts. There's something undeniably powerful about someone who doesn't react. Now ask yourself, what if you did the same? What would happen if you don't give away your energy to all conflicts, all animosity, all pulls toward the negative and all demands? How would things be different if you simply let some things go? That's when your real power comes through. Not in the struggle to earn your spot, but rather that you were never meant to be struggling in the first place. You see, most of us were trained from a very young age to equate love with availability, to believe that if you don't answer right away, if you say no, if you take space, you'll lose people, be rejected, left behind, and so we stretch ourselves thin, trying to be everything for everyone while slowly becoming nothing for ourselves. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The more available you are, the less value others place on you. Not because you're not worthy, but because what is always accessible is rarely appreciated. When you're always the one to text back, to say yes, to fix the problem, to explain yourself, people stop seeing you. They only see the role you play. And then, when that job is no longer convenient for them, they discard it. And I just leave you all confused and bitter and empty, so you stopped responding. And so what? What if your response was silence, not as a cowering, but as a choice? Not replying is not weakness. To not defend yourself is not to surrender. The opposition candidate is not at liberty to tell us all these things, but we also have to be patient sometimes. Stillness can also be a storm, because when you stop responding, people are forced to hear their own echoes, and that terrifies them. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist not only persists, but will grow in size." Let that sink in. The more you react, the more you feed the dynamic. The more you try to fix things, the more broken you feel. And the more you explain yourself to people who don't truly care to understand, the more invisible you become. Because people aren't always interested in truth. Sometimes they're just interested in seeing whether or not you'll perform. That's why manipulative people love emotional puppets. They thrive on predictability. They love the ones who always show up, always react, always try to smooth over discomfort. But the moment you cut the strings, when you stop replying, stop explaining, stop proving, they panic. Not because they miss you, but because they no longer control the script. You were taught that being emotionally available is a strength, but no one told you that over-availability is a cage. When you're always there, people forget to check if you're okay. When you're always listening, people forget you have a voice. When you're always forgiving, people stop fearing the cost of hurting you. So I ask you, what has your constant availability cost you? Your peace, your energy, your sense of self? This is not a call to shut down. This is a call to wake up, to reclaim your energy, to protect the sacred ground of your attention, to be intentional with your presence, because your presence is a gift, and it should never be handed to those who haven't earned the right to hold it. Let's go deeper. Why do we react so quickly? Why do we feel this unbearable need to reply, explain, justify, please? The answer is simple: fear. Fear of being misunderstood, fear of being abandoned, fear of not being enough unless we're useful. And this fear is the perfect breeding ground for manipulation. When someone knows what button to press, and you react the same way every time, you've handed them the remote control to your mind. And it's not always from toxic people. And sometimes the people closest to you, family, lovers, friends, discover how to mold yourself via your emotional patterns. They say one sentence, and you're off into a spiral. They take some affection away, and you chase it. They judge, and you over-explain. It's not always intentional, but it is real, and it's your responsibility to grab that control back. Start asking yourself, who am I when I don't explain myself? Who am I when I don't react? Who am I when I don't perform to please? Silence can be painful at first. It can feel like rejection, isolation, loneliness. But sit with that silence long enough, and something magical happens. You begin to hear yourself again, your own thoughts, your own boundaries, your own truth. You realize not everything needs a response. Not every attack needs defense. Not every fire needs your water. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing. Think of your energy as currency. Would you hand out money to people who mock you? Would you let strangers raid your wallet every time they wanted attention? Number. So why do we do that with our emotional energy? Every impulsive reply, every sleepless night worrying about someone's opinion, every forced smile or fake "I'm fine," all of it is a transaction, and the price you pay is your peace. There's a phrase that should live in your heart: not everyone deserves a reaction, because not everyone is speaking to the real you. They're speaking to the role they assigned you in their life: the fixer, the comforter, the yes man, the rescuer. And when you reject that role, they are mystified. They get angry. They say you've changed. But what really happened is you finally met yourself, and now you've vowed to stop trading authenticity for approval. There's one more truth. That's what happens when you stop being a reactor. People start showing their real faces. They'll test you, call you cold, accuse you of being distant. They'll prod harder to try to make you back down. Don't let them deal with the silence. Let them confront their own noise, because your calm is confrontation for those who live in chaos. And when you stop playing the role they're used to, they'll either evolve or exit. Both are blessings. Carl Jung believed that real transformation comes not by imagining light, but by embracing the darkness. And sometimes that darkness is your stillness, your refusal to engage, your power to wait, your quiet awareness. This isn't passivity, it's mastery. And in that mastery, something shifts. You are no longer the puppet, you become the mirror. And not everyone can stand what they see in it, but you will finally see yourself, whole, unshaken, free. So next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. Next time your phone dings, breathe. Next time someone attacks your character, remain centered, because your silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And in a world that wants you to react, not reacting is the most powerful act of all.